Hey, it's Mike, and I'm hoping I'm going to get a chance to maybe demonstrate a trade here. We've corrected back almost to the trend line. We're not quite there yet. I'm hoping that we're going to get a setup here. We've got a new high, so there's a first entry. If we break higher, there's a second entry. Of course, this signal bar is not very good, so hopefully we'll get a better setup than this, or I'm not going to take this trade. But I think it's just still a little early now, and you got to be careful. You get antsy when you get right in here because you're expecting to set up and you hate for a second entry to trigger without you. But if you don't have a good setup, don't take it because it'll come back to haunt you. So I'm going to probably pause this and just kind of wait. But you can see the new high here. We're working down. It's a little spike in channel. We got a break, a new low, but there's a new swing high there because it's higher than that one. So far we've got a first entry and we're working back to the trend line. So maybe it'll break lower here, bounce off the trend line and turn up and give us a nice entry opportunity here. We'll just have to see. But I'm going to pause it and we'll just kind of let it set up, and I'll record again here when something changes. Okay, just to update here, we are back to the trend line. We are starting to bounce here. This could break higher in an engulfing bar. I'm going to go ahead and place an order right there. One tick above that, just in case that it turns up real quick and triggers that second entry on an engulfing bar. It doesn't look like it's going to do that, and this bar is going to be too bearish. But if it turns up and breaks higher all in one bar, I'm going to be ready for it there. This is one of those opportunities I wouldn't have a problem entering on an engulfing bar. Let's see here. That bar is pretty good, so if it breaks higher right there, we'll go with it. So this will be a second entry long. Again, notice the new high. You got a first entry, and that bar closes within its top 1/3. It's not a perfect signal bar, but it looks good enough to me, especially off the key entry point here. There's actually you could actually almost argue for that to be a triple test there. So there we are. We're trades triggered. We're working higher. And what we'll do is we'll scalp out 15 here if we can, and then move the stop to probably break even on the others. We'll just have to see how we manage this one. I want to have moved my stop to one. So you want to put your stop one tick below the signal bar. All right, we're bouncing off our order here. Hopefully we can get on through there. There we go. Now we've moved to break even. And let's see where we want to try to exit our runner. Let's give this a little room here. We'll see how it goes from there. We'll start right there near the highs. But we got 15 points in the bank and a runner going here. That was an easy second entry, right at the key entry point. Wasn't a perfect signal bar, but it still qualifies. It closed within its upper 1/3. So we're still treading higher here. We're pushing higher, I should say. And you see we are finding some resistance there where we found it a couple of times before. Hopefully we'll push on through there. tempted to move this up to 1 tick below that, but I don't want to get too close and stop myself out because I think we can get this target here. But again, hopefully you can see why I like that trade. We're in an uptrend. You can clearly see the two-tiered blue channel. Price is pulled back to the EMA, or I'm sorry, pulled back to the trend line and triggered a second entry right off the key entry point. Relatively low risk bar too. That bar only 5 ticks. So it was pretty low risk. The market has definitely slowed down a lot. A lot of resistance right up here at this 40.75 area because I think this is where that's where we ran into resistance yesterday. Yeah, you can see right there. It's where we ran into all the resistance yesterday. So definitely some resistance in here. All right, turn higher now. I'm just going to leave my stop at break even, and we'll watch it a little bit longer before we decide what we're going to do here yet. Well, just really tough resistance right in here. Yeah, so if you're trading after you watch this, just be real careful in here getting long into this 40.75, 4.75 area because it's been tough resistance right here. Every time we get up here, they beat it down again. They didn't beat it down hard today. They only backed it up to the key entry point, but that doesn't mean that we won't get a break soon here and go, correct some. So the hope is if we can ever push it through there, we may get another nice run up. So if you could catch a runner on one like this would be a great spot, but it's not looking very good. Nope, and they got my runner, so still doesn't mean we can't go higher. We may get another opportunity here, but you can see they got it to the tick. They know where those stops are. Sometimes you got to give it a little more room, but at this area, at this price level right here, I'm not willing to give it any more room. I'm take my 15 ticks or 15 points and be happy with that here. You can see I would have get back more than that. I didn't end this quite yet. I wanted to let this play out a little bit more and just let you kind of see how this worked out. And they're still, I still feel confident they're going to run this thing higher. There's a lot of resistance here, and they're struggling to work through it. And you see how they continue to kind of run the stops here. And they'll do that a lot to bring the shorts in and trap out the longs, and then suddenly they'll run it up and the longs all realize, hey, I should have stayed in, and they get back in, and the shorts all have to exit, and it gives it a little momentum. Notice that we had another second entry here, so you would have had another scalp opportunity on the second entry at the key entry point again. Now we do have a close outside here. This is probably one where you might wait on a higher low. If it breaks lower here and then gives you a higher low with a good signal bar, you might re-enter this. But you see them coming back and testing that trend line. It appears to be holding. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the trade. We didn't get a runner on this one. They're really struggling to get it higher. This 40.75 area is really strong resistance. and it may take a while to work through here. So I do believe once they push through, it's going to push on up again for another little jog, nice little jog there. But anyway, we got 15 points on this trade. No runner. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. This is Mac. We'll see you next time.